Welcome to L's Up Podcast. This is your co-host Jordan. We got Kenny here. Introduce yourself, Kenny.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at a chain that's supposed to be a heart and looks like a ball.
This is going to have to be edited out already.
100%. That's going to be, I guess, the start of this podcast. After multiple technical difficulties, we have officially started this. So this first episode might be a little rough, but
I think the first few will be a little rough. We're going to get things rounded out.
Give us like a 10-episode buffer, and I feel like we'll be good.
Might even need a 20-episode buffer, especially with alcohol involved.
That's very true. So the point of this podcast basically is to basically beer reviews and Louisville sports.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, L's up.
Big Louisville sports here. We're excited for the tenure of Pat Kelsey coming up, so we'll talk a little bit on that today. Excited for spring practice and Jeff Brom. We'll talk more on that. But I think we should start out with sampling our beer that we got for the day.
Yeah.
Three Floyds.
I've never had this.
I haven't either.
And by the way, this is free promo at this point. They don't pay us anything. But if you want to, anybody at Three Floyds that may or may not listen to this, if they want to send us free beer,
they don't pay you guys.
I
got my check this morning. What are you talking about?
We can move to DM.
But yeah, we'll crack this open and what is this?
This is Jinx Proof Lager. This is, like I said, my first time having it. I'm familiar with Three Floyds, pretty familiar with them. I've been drinking them for a while, but this is a new for me. I know you said you've had it.
This one's not normal.
No.
It says it on the bottom.
It does say it's not normal on the can, so it's not normal. That first one's pretty good.
It is.
Coming in at 5.7% ABV.
I can get drunk off these things.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the longer we do this, the more I'll probably just say that. Like, I can get drunk off of these. It's going to be my catchphrase, basically.
And that's when we're going to sneak a non-alcoholic into the mix.
I think we all know what my catchphrase is, because I'm fucking bricked. I'm bricked for Brom.
He's going to be bricked up over anything and everything that happens for
bricked all season.
Louisville sports.
Oh, my God.
They signed a new cricket player from the UK this week, and he's not UK, but from the UK.
The UK.
Like, let's get that clear.
We don't want no blue shit.
He's bricked up over that. Big cricket fan, if I do say so myself. But yeah, so like I said, we're going to talk about some Louisville sports and, just have a good time, drink some brews, and talk about anything and everything that comes. We don't have to, just say things that are Louisville, but
we can, but we will.
I think there'll be a little bit of multi-sports, too. I mean, I know we talked about doing some gambling talks, maybe picks of the week type stuff, so there's plenty of sports talk to go around, not just Louisville.
Yeah, I'm knock on wood, but I'm doing fairly well, as Kenny knows. I'm doing fairly well with my MLB picks. I think it's because I have no knowledge of the MLB whatsoever, and I'm just kind of...
That's me, but I'm terrible on the other end of the spectrum. I am a terrible MLB picker. I can never pick a game, ever. I'm
gonna share a little something with you that a random guy at the
Chico?
Horseshoe Casino told me.
Oh, wow.
The separate inning results.
Oh, really?
9 times out of 10 are going to be a tie.
Oh, wow.
So
you're just throwing it all in ties?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, wow.
I'm tie just for the inning, not for the game. Not for a 2-3 inning. Like,
I'm gonna have
literally
to try that.
just an inning.
They are tied a lot in baseball.
A lot.
It's hard to watch baseball because of that. I love baseball, but I can't sit through a whole season watching one team.
You know what I love? Gambling. But I will tell you this: every time I log on to FanDuel, that motherfucker stares at me like it's the Green Goblin mask. Just waiting for me to make a bad decision.
To touch back on what Zach said about the old guy in the casino, listen, if you ever walk into a casino and an old guy gives you advice, you probably should take that guy's advice because he's got some good info.
Now, keep in mind, it was the middle of the day on a Tuesday.
Oh, even better.
So
That's a degenerate.
So the fact that this old man was just hanging out at the bar, like I went to go get a drink after placing my bets.
What time was it?
Oh, it was 1:00 in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, this guy.
Like and this man had like a stack of tickets in front of him.
Oh my
and I was like, is that what you've been betting on? He was like, yeah.
Absolute degenerate.
This man probably had like 10 games, 9 innings per. Like he was a degenerate, and
those are the guys you want to listen to.
He's basically who
the cheat code.
He's basically who I look up
about
to.
Their third mortgage. That's a guy I would take advice
and fourth wife.
Hey, I'm just saying, the man's lived a life. Okay, I'm not gonna take. I would rather take advice from someone at the bar of a casino at 1:00 in the afternoon, rather than take advice from someone that has dirty white Crocs on. You know. Too bad we're not.
That feels like a shot at Kenny because currently he's wearing some rather old white Crocs.
Too bad this first episode was not a video podcast, because I would show you all. These are the dirtiest Crocs, and I did not notice it until we started recording.
This has turned into a Kenny Schmear campaign.
It's okay. These things have seen more Old Forester parking lots than some people have seen wars.
There's been more bourbon spilled on these Crocs.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so what are we thinking about this? It's not normal beer. I definitely don't think it's normal, but it's good. I like it.
It's definitely not normal. I thought it was going to be like a little bit more like lagerish.
For sure.
I feel
it's got a little hop to it.
I was about to say, yeah, I feel like it's kind of a mix between like a lager and like a
Did you
IPA.
think it was going to be more
That's
of a
what I'm
lager
thinking.
because it is a lager?
For sure. What do you think? You're the beer guy. You're the guy. You're the
you're the beer guy.
I mean, if you want my honest opinion, it's crisp, refreshing, got a great hop profile to it, but at the end of the day, it's got a nice little fruit flavoristic to it that is almost comparable to a Hefe, which would make me lean towards it being more of a European type lager. But all in all, I mean, it's refreshing, and not to steal from Zach, but it'll get me drunk.
It will get me drunk. I think it's. I need it on a t-shirt.
So do we think we should? This being the first one, this is a question. Should we like give a rating, kind of like a pizza review type?
So I kind of thought that. I thought about doing like a rating system, and then I feel like I'm just gonna throw out like promos left and right that we don't get paid for. But yeah, there's a what is this? Untapped app.
Oh yeah,
I thought about making Untapped account for like the podcast.
Oh, that would.
And then keeping up with
and we get all tracked.
Yeah,
on it. That would be
so
badass.
like we know where we rank certain things.
I
so
like that idea a lot for sure.
I feel like we could maybe like all three rank it.
Yeah,
then,
what's it ranked on Untapped right now?
Median rank.
I don't know. You asking me too many questions. I
feel
don't
like
know
we
the
don't
answer
need to
to.
look at it before we make our rate.
All right,
So are we rating 1 to 5?
Just jump. Yeah, it's 1 to 5.
Yeah, it's 1 to 5.
All right, I'm gonna say. Is it only at half points?
You can give half points.
All right, I'm gonna go 3.5. That's my ranking on this.
3.5. What do you want to say?
I'm gonna lean towards Zach. I want to see what you all think before I give my honest opinion.
I would rate it 3.75, but I don't think it'll let you do that on the app. I think it's only half.
Actually, I think it will.
Oh, then I'm gonna go 3.75.
I think so.
I'm gonna go
I don't know.
3.75. I recant the 3.5.
I'm gonna go 3.7.
Yeah.
The Untapped app looks at me like the Green Goblin mask too, so I try to stay away from it because I just feel like I'm just gonna drink more beer.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna say 3.7 only because the alcohol is 5.7, and I was gonna say 3.6.
Mafia.
But that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Man. At 5.7.
Well, I'm gonna be.
So drinkable.
I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. I'm gonna give this more of a 2.75 to a 3.
Fair enough.
You know, that's fair though. I thought about
But
going,
I'm only saying that because it's the first beer we're having on this podcast, and I don't.
You want to get the
I'm
hopes
afraid
up.
I'm afraid of us just giving high rankings for beers, and I mean, as good as this beer is, I think that we'll have some beers over the course of this podcast that are going to outpace it.
I agree with
sure.
that.
And even from Three Floyds themselves.
Oh,
that,
100%.
You know,
I
we
mean,
might
like,
rank a 3.5, and we gave this a 3.5.
That's fair. But
I feel like when I'm on that app too, it's subjective. So like if I've been drinking, the next beer is gonna automatically get a better score.
The next beer
because I'm drunk.
I do feel like that app should ask you like how many beers have you had,
and then adjust your score according to how much you had.
Like I'm 6 beers deep, and I've been
maybe
drinking
it's not
nothing.
a 4.5, buddy.
It's a 2.6 at best, like 100%. I thought about that, but also I'm gonna give Three Floyds just a little bit of credit here because every time I drink this from now on, I'm going to think about the first time we recorded this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So sure. I bumped it up just a tad bit just to like, because it's going to have a little bit of,
it's got a little special. Yeah.
Well, that's just going to make me want to take it down even further. This is a 1 out of 5. These are the worst people to be around for at least an hour.
We're going to go with a 3-2 for the average from the three of us. I don't know. I don't know how to math. So 3-2 sounds like it's in the middle between what we just said.
That sounds fair enough. All right, enough about the beer.
All right.
We move into some sports talk. So how are you guys feeling so far about the coaching hire?
I'll go first, and I'll be the first one to admit I've said it to both of you all, and I feel like both of you all know the second we announced the hire. I believe my exact words were a puking emoji, but I have changed my mind. I have changed my mind completely. I will say that everything he has done since accepting that since signing the contract of saying he was going to be the next head coach of Louisville, just completely changed my mind. Dude, sure. I'm gonna steal your. I'm bricked up. I'm bricked up.
And if you want more bricked up news, Rick Kuber just announced that the University of Louisville has raised $250,000 in NIL funds since he made the announcement that he would match up to $1 million
10 hours.
in NIL.
I was about to say, that was only like 10 hours.
So that's $500,000.
That's awesome.
Towards U of L basketball.
That really goes to show you that Louisville as a whole, the fan base, we've been yearning for some sort of saving grace, and we've been put through the ringer per se for years and years. We've missed tournaments for years and years, and all we've really wanted was success. And KP, I'm not going to slander him. I'm not going to hate on him. He just wasn't it. I'll leave it at that. But Pat Kelsey, like you said, Zach, I was not sold immediately. I think even on Twitter I made a couple of goofy jokes at the beginning. And then I decided, I will let him, or I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and hope he can do it. But as soon as he got on that podium and started talking, I was sold. I even tweeted, I would tear down the Appalachian Mountains for this man. I would run through 24 brick walls every hour of the day for this man because, oh my God, it's only been a couple of days and I don't want to jinx it, but it feels like he's the man for the job.
The moment that Pat Kelsey solidifies himself as the next Denny Crum here is the moment he goes live from the Chicken King parking lot and orders a 2-piece and a biscuit with a pink lemonade.
I wouldn't jump to that because it feels like that's something he would do today if you asked him. This man would do it today.
I'm going to be from the South End right here now. Indies or die.
I'm there with you. It's Indies.
It's Indies.
Although I will say I have never had Chicken King. Don't smite me. I need to try it.
It's good. It's great. It's great. It's great. I will say that. But Indies is amazing.
Indies is awesome.
So are we going to do an Indies versus Chicken King challenge for the next pod?
We definitely should. I'll do
a blind taste testing and
I'll do that.
I'll tell you.
I'll do that. And I would also like to say though, man, these Louisville chicken places, y'all need to get some chicken livers on the menu, man. Lee's is like the only place I can get some chicken livers. I've said it for the past few days. Everybody's been arguing this argument, but I need my chicken livers.
I'm going to say too that coming from a small town, Lee's was our main chicken place. Lee's famous recipe is one of the very few places, at least like chain like restaurants, that has fried pickles and their spears.
Ooh. I've never had pickles.
They're not the slice.
Are they good?
They're not the slice. They're spears, and they're so much fucking better.
For sure. Always better for sure.
So much better.
I'll have to try that because I love a good fried pickle.
Well, we just lost Kenny.
So. I don't know where he's
I think he just went over to cough.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
right. That was fair.
We're in the 21st century. You can edit that stuff out. Right?
I'm sorry. I was trying to be conscious.
I appreciate that. But at the same time, I mean, we are... This is our first episode, you know.
There's going to be coughs.
There's going to be
slip-ups.
There's going to be coughs. I mean...
and phones.
And phones. God. I don't even know, Are we still recording? Oh, yeah, we're still
I was about to cry if it wasn't recording.
But no, like I said, I mean, and I agree with everything you said. Like Louisville as a fan base needed it. We got it through Jeff Brom.
Oh my God.
So like, so everyone like felt very comfortable, especially after going into the season and after that first season. I think everyone felt very, very comfortable that like, oh, we have our guy.
Yeah, for sure.
We're moving in the right direction with football.
Yeah.
And then we win 8 games in basketball and just fucking tore our hearts apart.
To be honest, before we hired Pat, I was thinking, man, no one wants us. Are we just becoming a football school now? Like, it felt like we were just not ever going to return to prevalence in basketball. But, you know, after the hire, I feel a lot more comfortable, I should say. Again, I don't think we should – I don't want to jump to conclusions and just assume we're going to be great. But, I mean, I feel like I'm in a spot where I feel much better than I did a week ago when we were in the midst of the crisis coaching search of the century. It was brutal.
I can honestly say that, like, leading into Kenny Payne, I was super hyped up. Like Kenny, I don't know how you really felt. Like,
I was
going
opposite.
into that. I was about to say, I know how you felt.
Thoroughly against that hire, and it wasn't it. It was because the Louisville is not a stepping stone school, and it felt like a stepping stone hire because he had no experience as a head coach.
See, I don't think it felt like a stepping stone like hire for the most part, but like that was such a big podium and such a big stage for your first coaching job. I mean, like, and that's the thing that I like about, you know, Pat Kelsey is like he's had success at these smaller schools, and like he knows that this is his chance to shine. And like I feel bad for Kenny Payne, honestly. Like,
I feel bad for
like
him,
where's Kenny Payne going to go be the head coach at now?
I don't think he'll ever. Personally, I don't think he'll ever be a head coach again, at least for a while. I mean, he'll be an assistant somewhere. He'll be a great recruiter somewhere. Honestly, if I was a Kentucky fan, even though I hate those guys, I would personally welcome back with open arms after what he just did to Louisville. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, he definitely. I think we should learn. You know, as much as I love, and would welcome him back with open arms. As much as I love Rick Pitino.
Oh yeah,
we've gotten 2 people from UNK basketball, and they have both somehow. And I'm not placing all the blame on Rick at all, but
you got to have some sort of control.
Yeah, it didn't look good. I mean, like we've gotten 2 people from them, and like both of them just seemed like they were trying to sabotage.
It seemed like
and I love Rick Pitino.
Oh yeah,
I'm not saying a single word against him,
but in the same sense. The same with KP. It seems like after Rick Pitino and after KP left, we were in a worse spot
100%.
Than before. So
100%.
It's hard.
At least we got some success out of.
For sure.
What would you say? Who would you say would be in the worst spot? The University of Louisville after Rick left, or the Italian restaurant after Rick left?
I'd say Louisville.
Have you ever been in that Italian restaurant? Place is packed every single time you ever go.
I don't think they even even be better off after.
You gotta think if they're getting people in and out every 30 seconds. I mean, that's great. No, that's a great business model.
I actually, go there because that was the Italian restaurant.
I make sure to sit in the seat that he came on.
Yeah,
I tell him don't clean it.
Wherever Rick sat, that's where I want to sit. No, I plan on cutting it a little bit, like the pauses and stuff. Sure. But I will say, I mean, it's our first episode. Yeah. It's going to be raw for the most part. It's going to be, pretty off the wall until we can get to a point that like we know what we're talking about. I guess.
I think
but
down the road, hopefully, we have some sort of like not schedule, but some sort of rhythm that we get in where we do certain skits and different pieces that work together better than others.
Yeah, I just want to get like one episode, kind of off our. Yeah. I know I've had a few podcasts and a few different things. I know you all didn't. You all haven't, but
I'm completely new to this.
It's basically just like drinking and talking.
I like drinking, and I love talking after drinking. And I love getting bricked up for Brom. Oh my God, let's talk about him. We talked a little bit about Pat. Can we at least talk a little bit about Jeff before we hop off this?
Oh, 100%. I mean, do I talk about how happy I am and how excited I am, or like do we actually talk about the downfall too? Because I mean, the fucking second half of that last season, like it was a heartbreaker.
I feel like I don't want to place blame where it shouldn't be, but I feel like we're in a better spot now than we were with the quarterback situation.
100%.
I feel like that quarterback situation put us in a lot of spots where we didn't need to be in a lot of games. So
I agree with that.
Are you saying that Jack Plummer ruined the season?
Maybe he
100%. No, not maybe. 100%.
He was pretty atrocious. Again, I hate tearing people down in a public or social setting.
I will. Jack Plummer.
I'll be the one.
Ruined.
I will be the one.
Season.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
if he spent more time learning the playbook or holding on to the ball than he did in the freshman dorm rooms, we probably would have won 12 games last year.
But we have tremendous upside in Tyler Shuck, I feel like. So as long as he can stay healthy, I have a high expectation for this team. We have really good talent with him. Ja'Cory Brooks from Alabama is going to be great. Penny Boone out of Toledo, I think he's going to be a stud. And there's Colin Lacey. I mean, we have a star-studded team, I think, and I'm super excited to see what they can do on product on the field. So
I'm gonna be completely honest. As long as I can stay sober enough to say our quarterback's last name right, that's a good season in my eyes. Because I've called him every name in the book. Like every time I read his last name, I was like Sue.
That's almost as bad as me with Patrick. What's his name? Keebler. Keebler? Rick. No, I said Rick. I said Patrick. Edit that out. Rick Keebler?
No, that one's staying there. We'll never get a sponsorship from a Suntan City or a Planet Fitness.
I love Rick. I love Rick.
Bricked up for Rick.
Bricked for Rick.
God.
That's the name of the episode.
Brick for Rick.
I'm okay with that. 100%. Like, I'm more than okay with that.
It's awesome what he's done for the program, really, though. The offer he's put on the table for us is really tremendous for the basketball team, and it could really make this team something. That's my biggest concern with this basketball team was Pat being able to formulate a roster in the short amount of time that he has, and with the NIL, that really opens up a lot more possibilities. So
it does, and I mean, I don't know how fast I'll get this edited, but we did repost their post. So if you want to go follow, is it the L's Up Podcast? Or no, it's just L's Up Podcast, isn't it?
It's L's Up Podcast.
L's Up Podcast.
We'll have to start remembering stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll have to remember things like that.
Also, if you haven't done it, go become a member of the 502 Circle. We all joined today. Go do it. Be a good fan. No, I'm just kidding. You're not a bad fan if you don't. But it really helps the program as well.
Just $75 and just sitting in this room donated. Big deal.
Yeah. I mean, we lifted this program to the next level.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually sitting next. This is Bring Brom Home.
Oh my God.
Oh God! Don't even put that on me.
No, it's definitely you. I've never seen you and him in the same room together.
I'll
say that.
That's true.
I'll say that.
That is true.
I did, and did you all see that?
I saw the exchange you had with somebody on Twitter that got upset.
You know what's crazy is like that lady said that,
yeah,
and then followed me, and then followed the podcast.
She follows me too.
Yeah, I was like, all right.
She thought it was me because she's followed me for a while, but.
I was like, why would you think I was hating on somebody and then follow me? That makes no sense whatsoever. If you're listening to this, I apologize, but I
think her name's Stephanie.
It did. Yeah, I think so.
Shout out to Stephanie.
I was just being very playful with whoever the Bring Brom Home guy is.
Yeah, I mean that guy.
Also, this is an open invitation for you to show yourself on our podcast.
For sure. Well, I think we even had an exchange with the Bring Brom Home guy about. Having an interview before we made the hire. I don't know if that's still on the table, but Bring Brom Home. We'd love to have you.
Was that when you said Mick was the pick, or Little Richard was the pick, or back to Mick, or then to Pat Kelsey?
Listen, it is a funny, goof up that he made all these promises, but in the same sense, he's a huge Louisville fan. You know, he's spread a lot of good info, and I don't want to say he brought Brom home because we all wanted Brom, or a lot of us did, and I think it was he was destined to come here. It just made sense.
My thing is, if you had the power to bring Brom home, why didn't you do it before we fucking hired Petrino?
Oh my god! And my dad gives me shit about the Petrino hire because he's a huge Petrino fan, and I talk shit about it a lot. The second hire, but I mean, if you look at what Lamar had no help under Petrino, man. It was so bad. We could have done so much more with a coach that I feel like could have invested more into that team.
If Brom had, which I know I know he runs a complete different system, but so maybe it wouldn't have worked. But if you gave Brom Lamar Jackson, oh my god. Like that, we're 100%. We're winning the ACC.
And that's another thing to that is I feel like Lamar doesn't get a lot of credit for his throwing ability. People would think because he's so fast and he runs a lot that's all he can do. But I've seen this man. I mean, he can throw the ball. And
I think honestly, I mean, like looking back to his Louisville days, like you said, I mean, who was it? James Quick was his only receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he had no option but to run the ball.
And I mean, James Quick, to me, lost that Clemson game for us.
Yeah. Oh, when he ran out of bounds?
Yeah.
Oh,
when he cut.
He 100%. You have to sacrifice your body.
Yeah, he cut to the wrong way, and that lost the game. I know. Would we have maybe won? I don't know.
Probably.
There's still probably. There's still that what if, but at the same time, like
that's a stinger in the history. That's one of those ones. It's like, man, I want that back.
Oh my god.
Gosh, that one hurt.
I was at O'Dolly's watching that game, drunk off my ass. Shout out to O'Dolly's, waiting for my sponsorship.
I love O'Dolly's.
So much fun.
I love O'Dolly's.
I love a good South End bar.
Man, that's not far from my house. We'll have to go to O'Dolly's to know.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that. But no, so he didn't really have a lot of receiving core at Louisville. And even the first quite a few years, everyone said he should move to wide receiver, or he's a running back, blah blah blah. And then the Ravens took a chance on him, and they didn't give him any weapons. He still really does. I mean, this past year he had better weapons, but
much better than he's ever had. But they're still middle of the road. He doesn't have a
you have Odell that was good older. 6 years ago.
Yeah. I mean the biggest upside they have is Zay, and even him being so young, he has a lot more ceiling down the road, but he's just so young. He has raw talent.
I was about to say, he has a lot of talent, but at the same time,
he's
learning. Let's go back to them playing the Chiefs.
Oh yeah,
they got under his skin. And they knew how to get under his skin, and he just let it happen. Yeah. Whenever he got up, which don't get me wrong, I'm a Pats fan, so
I'm a Steelers fan.
I was rooting for the Ravens because of Lamar, but they held onto his leg as he was trying to get up, and he got up and then threw the ball and stood over him, and that was a stupid penalty. He won't make that same mistake, and he probably won't make it next year. But
speaking of who we're fans of. That's another thing I'm sick about. The Steelers had a chance to get Lamar. They even had him out to Pittsburgh before the draft, and I was like, oh, they're gonna pick him for sure. And they passed on him, and he goes to the Ravens. It was so hurtful to me.
Bill Belichick said no this past year.
Oh yeah,
because he didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And then you got Can, so
Yeah. A lot of people turned him down.
I love Bill Belichick though, but I can't go against him. But no, I guess we digress. I don't know how long we've been recording, so a quick little nice episode to start out the.
Sure.
Any parting words, Kenny, while you're texting? You really are going to be that guy on this podcast, aren't you?
I love the cards.
I love Lamp
more than I love myself.
I love the cards so much. Yeah, you're going to have to be the guy that searches up all the stuff because you're real into that technology over there.
Next time, once we have an actual setup and I maybe get a better interface, we don't have to share microphones. I have my desk set up where we can all sit at it. I'll just give you my iPad. How's that sound?
That'd be fantastic. That would really bring my autism to the next level.
Maybe we can give you a little sound system too, where you can hit all the goofy buttons and make dumbass noises.
I think. Have you ever hung out with him? He just kind of makes those noises as by himself.
That's the autism.
Yeah.
Might have edited out the autism jokes.
Probably not though. Probably not. Is that?
Shout out mental illness.
Hey,
My mental illness is
superpower.
being bricked up for Brown.
breaked up for bro.
Just saying.
I don't know if we'll edit that out or not, guys. But yeah, so like I said, quick little episode to start us off. We'll get better at this. We will
Much better.
have better quality. We'll have better conversations. Bring Brom Home's gonna jump on the podcast. I think.
Bring Brom home. Come on, dog.
Bring him home. But yeah, so no, is that all you wanted to say? You love the cards?
And you.
Oh, I appreciate that, bud.
Shout out Trey Wampler. He had a kid today. He's in our little group message. So.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Having kids.
Yeah, big time energy.
Not for me, but congratulations to everyone that has a kid. This has been the L's Up podcast, and I don't know if we should just say we're signing out, or we'll get an outro too.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
sure.
we'll play the music now.
Until next time.